falling. I'm far from perfect, but I know what my worth is, more than you're giving. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. Oh no. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. You're so done with that place. You already like this. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. I don't wanna fix this. But I know what my worth is, more than you're giving. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. You're so done with that place. You already like this. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. I don't wanna fix this. You already like this for good. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. Oh no. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. You're so done with that place. You already like this. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. I don't wanna fix this. perfect, but I know what my worth is, more than you're giving. What goes up, comes back down. What goes up, comes around. You're so dumb and reckless. You already reckless. What goes up, comes back down. And your day will come around. I don't wanna fix this. You already like this for good. already like this for good. You came with a warning. I should have seen it. My bad for falling. I'm far from perfect, but I know what my worth is. More than you're giving. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. You're so dumb or reckless. You already wrecked this. What goes up comes back down. And your day will come around. And I don't wanna fix this. You already wrecked this for good. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. Oh no. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. You're so dumb and reckless. You already wrecked this. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. I don't wanna fix this. You already wrecked this for good. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. You're so dumb and reckless. You already wrecked this. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. And I don't wanna fix this. You already wrecked this for good. You came with a warning. I should have seen it. My bad for falling. I'm far from perfect, but I know what my worth is. More than you're giving. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. You're so dumb and reckless. You already wrecked this. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. And I don't wanna fix this. You already wrecked this for good. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. Oh no. What goes up comes back down. What goes out goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. You're so dumb and reckless. You're already reckless. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. And I don't wanna fix this. You're already like this for good. You came with a warning. I should have seen it. My bad for falling. I'm far from perfect, but I know what my worth is. More than you're giving. What goes up comes back down. What goes out comes around. You're so dumb and reckless. You're already reckless. What goes up comes back down, and your day will come around. And I don't wanna fix this. You're already like this for good.
So, a very good evening to all of you. On behalf of Riva Engineering College, it gives us immense pleasure to assemble all our audience under the umbrella of today's session. In the service of nation since 1964, Riva Engineering College has mounted up. We have MBA gradings to our 3 branches and has both UG and PG program in the campus. Our today's session, which is an initiative by government's Ministry of Human Resource and Development that has established IIC, Institutions Innovation Council, in colleges throughout India, giving us a golden opportunity to organize these impact lecture series to sensitize and motivate students and faculties to pursue innovation and startup during their academics. These impact lecture series not only establish streamlined campus innovation and startup ecosystem, but also helps in establishing strong connection with ecosystem enablers at regional and national level. Our goal is to build awareness of broad array of opportunity available in today's Atmanirbhar Bharat to enthusiastic students and adults who have keen interest in entrepreneurship. Well, Angelique Kelly rightly said, the most successful business are created with a business model around solving a problem for others. To stimulate the overall architecture of entrepreneurship life cycle and how students can create innovative products by undertaking relevant math skill set required to become an entrepreneur and know about entrepreneurship, we have our guest, Dr. Ruchi Gautam Pant. She will guide us on problem solving and ideation. Now, I request our mechanical department professor, Mr. Sonu Nagotri sir, to welcome our today's guest.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Institute Innovation Council of Riva Engineering College, a warm welcome to our guest, Dr. Ruchi, for obliging all of us with her presence. Kudos to the organizer for arranging such a distinctive webinar and participant as well. Approach towards day-to-day life. I firmly believe that after this session, you all are going to take a lot more than what you came with. That's all. I once again welcome Dr. Ruchi for this program.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Shobhika to introduce our guest for the audience that have joined in live stream YouTube. So please, Shobhika, you may proceed.
A very warm good evening to everyone. It gives us great pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest speaker for today's webinar on problem solving and ideation workshop. Dr. Ruchi Gautam Pant, an accomplished entrepreneurship educator, will be sharing her insights and expertise in this transformative session. Dr. Ruchi Pant possesses over 12 years of experience in various fields of HR consulting, research, analytics, and education. Her extensive background includes a full-time research scholar for 4 years, a behavioral trainer for UG and PG students for 6 months, and teaching at the postgraduate level for 3.5 years. Additionally, she has spent 2 years in HR consulting, specializing in executive to lead level positions and bulk hiring for A-grade BPOs. With her excellent communication and interpersonal skills, Dr. Ruchi ma'am is confident and poised in her interactions with individuals at all levels. She is a published researcher with more than 20 research papers, including Scopus listed journal publications. She has a solid understanding of recruitment and selection, HR consulting, open innovation, corporate training, research and analytics, and developing HR practices. Her achievements include receiving the High Flyer Award for Individual Excellence at Manpower Consultants in 2008. She also won the Best Paper Presentation Award for her research paper titled Dare to Dare Need for Human Resource Virtuosity Rethinking Approach and Execution at the 7th International Conference of the Restructuring of the Global Economy at the University of Oxford in 2017. Today, Dr. Richie Ma'am will guide us, share her best practices, and engage us in thought provoking discussions that will undoubtedly broaden our perspectives and inspire our collective thinking. Concluding my words here, I would like to extend a heartiest welcome to you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for such a lovely and warm welcome. I hope to live up to the expectation of of the audience today. I generally don't believe in getting my own introduction done on various stages, because I believe that work should speak. The way you interact with people, that should speak. So a warm welcome to all the audience that I have today in my session, and. Every session that I conduct has certainly certain objectives to achieve, and I believe in interacting with my students in such a way so that they are able to understand it through the live examples that I'll be sharing in today's class as well. So any of the questions you have, I'm sure Vaishnavi and the entire team is also handling the live link. You can all post your questions out there, so that at the end of the session, any questions I'm able to handle and answer, I'll surely would love to take them and answer you all. So problem solving and ideation workshop, what brings us here was the primary interaction we all had at the IDE Bootcamp Chandigarh, NIITTR, right, Vaishnavi? And though understanding entrepreneurship in a small span of 5 days is too less for any entrepreneur to take that to life execution. But when we have certain sessions specifically focusing on certain topics, that makes your journey even understandable in a better manner. So today's topic is all about problem solving and ideation. So I'm sure as an entrepreneur, you understand that how important it is to identify what problem your idea is going to solve for your customers, right? So today's objectives are given on this screen. We will try to understand the very basic of what is a problem. Yeah. Where to find problems. Now that you all have an idea, I'm sure most of the entrepreneurs, whenever we meet for the first time, they all come and say that we have a brilliant idea, But do they really understand what is the problem and where to find these problems that they want to solve about? We will be also discussing how to identify problems worth solving. Okay. And why do I say problems worth solving? Please make a note, because we'll be discussing that in the next slides. How to define a problem worth solving is also very important for any entrepreneur who is coming up and thinking about starting own venture. How to generate ideas. I'm sure most of the ideas number of entrepreneurs have is the fascination they have to start up with something. But the industry of entrepreneurship doesn't work like that. If you have to come up with an idea, if you want to serve your customers, you have to really come out of the walls of your rooms and interact with your customers so that you understand what your customer wants. Then, in order to generate ideas, I'm sure you all will be, very keen to understand how to have the best ideas. And then at the last, I'll be giving you a brief about prototyping. Yeah, this is what ideation start and ideation stage ends with. So in the journey of entrepreneurs, you will come across number of models. There will be number of models which will be telling you about certain criterias on which you should move ahead with, you should learn about. And today's session that I have designed with is certainly roaming around the model I have shown on your screen. This is called a two diamond model, yeah, which is all about how you start with a problem, how do you identify that problem, how do you define that problem, and then how you plan to decide a solution. And that's the stage where your idea should pop in. Okay, so it doesn't start I have an idea, now I want to see how will it work. It is always it always, the entrepreneurship journey always starts with identifying the problem you want to resolve through the idea you have, be it a service or a product. Okay, there are, now as an entrepreneur you need to understand there are multiple problems around. You walk on the road, you will meet n number of problems. You're watching a movie in a hall, you will see number of problems. You're going out meeting your friends, going on a bike journey, going on a car journey, you will see a multiple number of problems. But are these all worth solving? Why am I asking this question will be clear with the next picture I have on screen. Please observe this picture for just few seconds, and then probably I can ask you certain questions. Yeah. Just observe this screen. What does it look like? What do you understand from this screen? I'm sure you will be able to make out this screen is all about showing a night sky. Okay. So I will ask certain problem questions here, and you can certainly quickly answer on the live link that you are all are a part of, right? Can you identify all the stars shown on the screen? I'm sure the answer would be no. Can you count all the stars shown on the screen?
No.
I'm sure answer would be no. Can you identify how many colors are there in the sky? Because what I can see is blue, black, white, and pink. But there are a number of shades available of the colors in the sky in this particular picture. Yeah. Can you identify all the constellations here? Because constellations are nothing permanent that happens. It's just the structure of stars we join and make a constellation out of it. And can you tell which season this photo belonged to?
Summer.
Okay, one will say summer, one will say winter. I'm sure not monsoon because there are not many clouds in the sky, right? So there are a number of problems in we need to identify in this picture. Okay, we cannot count all the stars, we cannot tell all the colors, we cannot really identify which season does this picture belong to. So in that case, at times it is simply good to understand I am no expert. Yeah. There are people, those who are doing researches about such constellations, the sky rights and everything. So at times as an entrepreneur, it is also okay to sit back and say, I have no expertise in this. So probably this is not my problem area. And therefore it becomes a problem not worth solving for you. Yeah. Then I have another set of questions. Let me ask. I'm sure you all can see a sky there. Yes,
ma'am.
no? Which has stars, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You can also count a few of them, the popping ones.
Brightest one.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can also make some patterns and constellations, not all, but some you can make, right? You can also see a few colors and identify, okay, this corner is looking darker black, this corner is looking a darker blue, this is pinkish in shade, this has a tint of white as well.
Yes.
And you can certainly tell it is a night sky, yeah, because the stars are there. And why did it happen now? Why earlier we were not able to answer the questions? And why now we are able to answer the questions? Because I have the experience of handling these questions. I have read in books. Whomsoever I have met with, my teachers, my friends, they have told me this is a night sky, this is how stars look like, these are the colors broadly we know. And therefore, number of things I as an individual or you as an individual you were able to identify. Yeah, depending on the experiences we had, depending on the learnings we had. And why am I discussing it? Because this is what matters. Yeah, आप सबने वो एग्जाम्पल सुना होगा कि लता मंगेशकर क्रिकेट नहीं खेल सकती एंड सचिन तेंदुलकर गाना नहीं गा सकते. Yeah. So first point all of you to make today in today's session as an entrepreneur is identify your capabilities and competencies. What you are good at. What are you passionate about? What experience have you had? What studies have you done? Because that makes a remarkable effect on your entrepreneurship journey. Okay? So now let's move to the next part of it. And the certain questions that every entrepreneur need to ask himself or herself. Do you know how to be creative? Because products are always there in the market, services are always there in the market, there are always number of innovations happening, there are every day number of startups opening, but do you know how to be creative? Do you have an amazing idea? I'm sure I will have number of hands up because everybody thinks my idea is amazing. But in that case, do you have a right mindset? You know that you will be able to work on your idea, you will be able to create something out of it, and you will be there in the market tomorrow if needed. But then, what if something fails you in the initial days? Would you be able to handle that? Are you trained in it, or have you trained yourself enough to handle yourself in the ambiguous situations where most of the times you'll be thinking, why am I doing it even? Why there is a need for me to do it? And last but not the least, do you have the right toolbox? What is that toolbox? The interactions you've had, the studies that you've done, the books that you have read, the researches that you have done, and the knowledge and expertise that you carry. Yeah. So to become an entrepreneur, these 4 things are really important for you: to be creative, to have a right mindset, to have a right toolbox, so that if you have an amazing idea, you can take it forward. So let's start with the objective of the day. What is a problem? We all know it's a problem, but when it's asked that please define a problem, most of we are not able to do it. But the certain layman language says a problem is a job that someone is not able to do. Yeah. Why does a problem becomes a problem for me? Because probably I'm not able to tackle it, I'm not able to handle it, or I'm not able to do something in order to complete that job. Therefore, that job becomes a problem for me. Now, why a job becomes a problem for you as an individual? There can be number of reasons. Yeah. So where to look for problems? Now, you as an entrepreneur want to do something wondrous in the market. Yeah. You all have an amazing idea, but have you gone to the base root of it? You have an idea, but what is that it is addressing to? What kind of customer set is it going to handle? What kind of impact it will create in the market? What is the sustainability of your idea in the market? So where to look for problems? How can you identify, okay, this is the problem I want to sort out, or this is the problem I want to have a solution for? So there are 2 ways in which you can find out problems worth solving. Okay? You can certainly go out in the market and find out what all existing products, services, technology, and things are there in the market, so that if you have something in mind as an idea, you can understand what is already existing, so that I should not touch that. Rather, I should have incremental benefits, something in addition to be given to the customer. Then find out what all alternatives are there. Pizza Hut is there, Domino's Pizza is there, Chios is also there. Everybody is handling the same set of customers, the hungry customers. So what all alternatives are there? Then the pain point of your customer. What is that one job you're trying to ease for your customer so that that problem is no longer a problem for your customer? So what is that pain point you want to tackle to? And last but not the least, the friction. Elderly people are not good with technology. That's the friction for them. Younger people, the kids at home, parents don't want to give them gadgets. That's a friction. Yeah. Middle-aged people are very good with technology, so they do not prefer anything which has paperwork. Friction. So one way of identifying the problem you want to solve as an entrepreneur with your product and services is existing products in the market. What are the options available to your customers? What is that pain your customer is still looking for a solution? And what are the problems your customer is facing while using current product? What can be another method? Another method is anticipating future problems. Something which can trend up. Something which will be required down the line 5 years in the market. So you can also try this method of finding the problem you should solve, that is anticipating future problems. There is a possibility after 5 years, we all are as a customer looking for something which does not exist nowadays. So how will that be possible? How can you find out what will be there in the market after 5 years? Current trends. अगर एक पेन मार्केट में आया तो उसकी लाइफ वैल्यू मार्केट में क्या थी और कितना सडन चेंज हुआ उस पेन के प्रोटोटाइप में मार्केट में. अगर मार्केट में कोई फोन आया, how soon the phone got replaced by the competitors, current trends. Then you must understand the structural changes of your ecosystem. We live in India. Our structural system is something different. Yeah. If you're trying to clone a business model from outside of India, you will have to be well aware of the structural changes that might happen in India while you are taking that business model in India. And last but not the least, predict problems. Okay. पहले लोगों ने टोंगा से जाना ऑफिस शुरू किया, अपने काम पर जाते थे, फिर साइकिल्स आए, फिर स्कूटर्स आए, फिर कार आए, आज की डेट में लोगों के पास प्राइवेट चार्टर्ड भी है. Yeah. So this is how we can think about future problems also in order to understand what all problems can be there in the market which my customer would be vulnerable towards, and I should come with a solution as an entrepreneur. Therefore, the learning from this portion is you do not come with the idea and then start finding the problems. First, you start finding out the problems, then develop the idea around how can you resolve this problem. I had asked you to notify a point, problem worth solving. So before taking up a problem, before understanding a problem and you identify, okay, this is the problem I want to resolve for my customer and you want to create a solution for it, verify whether the problem is worth solving or not. Now, what is that worth solving? Will people pay for your solution? If it is a yes, then surely you have identified a problem worth solving. Because at the end of the day, every entrepreneur is trying to create some impact in the market. Every entrepreneur is trying to ease the life of their customers. Every entrepreneur is trying to earn something out of it, and therefore it becomes a problem worth solving. So if you have an idea, if you have identified the sustainability of your idea, if you have designed some prototype, and if you have some early adopters who will immediately buy your product is a problem worth solving. Now, how are we find out? How are we going to find out? What are we going to do with that? Yeah. Are we going to take this problem forward and resolve it? If the idea I have, this is around the problem worth solving, how am I going to understand and verify that my customer will buy my product? For that, what we have to do? अगर आपको मुझे एज अ कस्टमर कुछ बेचना है तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि मुझे एज अ कस्टमर क्या चाहिए. So until and unless you do not know me as a customer, probably you cannot develop something for me as a customer. It's as simple as that. So how will you identify if your idea is resolving a problem worth solving? Which is, are you designing a product or a service for which you will have immediate buyers, for which you will have a word of mouth, for which you will get references, for which you will have repeat customers? Because this is what we want, right? As an entrepreneur. So how will we start developing a product which is worth solving, which is having a problem worth solving? Simply start observing your customer. So if any one of you is thinking, I'll sit on a laptop entire day and I'll do my research from here, excuse me, boss, this doesn't work like this. If you are deriving something for your customer, you have to be on the field. You have to start observing them. Best part is you yourself are a customer. Yeah, you can become a customer, the product and service you're trying to build up. Yeah. So start observing and understand what is my customer missing. Yeah. What is that one thing my customer is still looking for? What is their body language towards a product? What is their behavior towards a product? How frequently are they buying that product? Yeah. Second, to identify a problem worth solving, you must understand if you know how to empathize with your customer. Do you know your customer well? Do you know what kind of colors do they like? Do you know they like heavy products or lightweight products? Do you know if they are looking for something for their kids? So start empathizing. Any idea that you have in mind is start interacting with your customers, your prospective customers, start observing them and start empathizing. What is that thing that they're looking for I should have in my product so that I can remove this problem for them permanently? Or for a shorter period of time until and unless you come up with another incremental benefit for them. Because while you observe your customers, while you empathize with them, every problem that they mention to you is an opportunity for you. So if you are thinking as an entrepreneur, I want to have a cake baking shop. I want to start selling cakes. Now you interact with your customers and your customers say, मेरे को ना ऐसा शॉप चाहिए जहाँ पे केक के साथ बुके, बलून और कार्ड्स भी मिल जाएं. So you had just the cake as a product in mind, but they all have given another opportunities for you to develop. So maybe today you will just want to open a cake baking shop, but tomorrow you can also hire somebody who is good at roses and flower shop. Third day you can hire somebody who is good with balloons and structures. Fourth day you can hire somebody or you can collaborate with Archie's gallery so that you have everything in one place. So this is the benefit of interacting with your customer, because there is a possibility you as an entrepreneur in a closed room is thinking this much, but your customer has built bricks of opportunities for you that you will only get to know once you start meeting them, observing them, and empathizing with them. So good that we are trying to understand our customer now. Good that you have understood that, any idea cannot be just developed like that. It has to has the customer inclusion. Now, customer inclusions may another thing you must look for is, I'm sure any product or service you're trying to develop as a concept, it has alternatives in the market. Yeah. It might also have competitors in the market, but you feel that customers are not happy with the product. So, what is that trigger which is pushing your customers to look for a change? What is that one factor or one incremental benefit as a feature you can add in a product that your customers will immediately switch to your product? It's all mind game. And that mind game is supported by when you start interacting with your customers. So always try to find out what is that pain point, what is that frustration your customer has that they are looking for a change of product or change of service. How will you find that? We again discussed. We just discussed that you have to also focus on existing alternatives. Your competitors should always be on your radar. What are they doing? What they can come up next with? What are the alternatives available? And if I remove this product from the market as an alternative, would my customers be happy? So whenever you're trying to empathize with your customer, whenever you're trying to observe your customer, along with focusing on your customer, you have to also focus on the existing alternatives for your customer. Today, if I want to travel, I have Ola with me. I have alternative to it, Uber with me. I have own car with me. I can hire a private taxi driver with me. I can go and pool with one of my friends. So they all becomes alternative for me as a customer for Ola. Are you getting my point? Yeah. So if Ola is looking for my alternatives that I choose over Ola are these. So focus on existing alternatives. Are your customers happy with alternatives or they are looking for a change? The simple conclusion is this. Okay. And if you try removing these alternatives which are available for your customers, think if your customer will be happy with it or not. And then accordingly, try incorporating features in your coming product. To understand a problem, this is the first crucial slide that every entrepreneur must have. This is the first page as a hard copy you must have as an entrepreneur in your file, which is called a problem statement canvas. Okay. And now that you have understood all the things that I took one by one, what is problem worth solving, how can you identify problem worth solving, and what are the alternatives available, you can simply jot them down on this piece of paper. So what is the context? What is the problem? And when does this occur? Who are the customers? If I'm focusing on a travel agency, travel partners. If I'm focusing on hungry customers, Pizza Hut, Domino's, whatever options I want to explore, who are the customers? If a problem is there, what is the root cause of the problem? The problem, what looks is on the surface is like an iceberg. I'm sure you all know about the iceberg theory. Yeah. What looks on the surface is very small, but the deeper part is inside the sea. So that is the root cause. Then, whatever product your customer is using right now, what is the emotional impact of that product on the customer? Are they happy with it or are they frustrated with it? What is the quantifiable impact? If they are traveling by Ola, they are reaching. So try to understand that. Then comes the alternative, the very important aspect that you have to understand along with your customer. Because when you're trying to make your customer, please understand your customers are already using some products and services. And moving them will not be easy, believe me, until and unless you are doing something remarkable. So what are the options available to your customers right now? And the most important thing to focus on this slide is what are the issues they are facing with existing alternatives they are using. Yeah. What are the disadvantages of these alternatives which will make easy for you to develop a product so that your customers can easily switch to your product, because you have identified what are the challenges customers are still facing, what are the problems that customers are still facing, what are the options and better features customers are still looking for. So it will all happen once you start interacting with your customers. So first and foremost slide is problem statement canvas, which will help you in zeroing in process, which will help you in understanding the same definition. A problem is something that your customer cannot do or is not able to do. So this problem statement canvas will tell you exactly what jobs my customer wants done. Now this problem statement canvas will concretely tell you what are the shortcomings I should focus upon while I am developing my idea as a product or as a service. What all benefits can I offer to the current customers so that they easily switch to my product. So this is called zeroing in process, where first we understood what is a problem, and now with the help of this problem statement canvas, you will also know what jobs your customers are still looking to get resolved, still looking their pain points to get lessened, and so on. So how to identify a problem to find the right solution? तो अभी तक हमने आइडिया की बात नहीं करी है, हाँ, अभी आइडिया पीछे डब्बे में. अभी हम सिर्फ इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, what problem for the customer are we trying to solve? So now whomsoever is sitting here with an idea that I want to develop this idea, please go for some backward integration and try to understand what problem are you solving for the customer through your product. So how will we frame a problem to find the right solution? Which means I have to understand what all can I do in order to solve this problem. So simply validate the answers with your customers. And how will you validate? Start interviewing them. Start preparing questionnaires and get it filled from your customers with just speak about what is the current product are you using? What are the features that you like about the current product? What are the features you do not like about your current product? What benefits do you expect from a new product? So as soon as you reach towards the 9th, 10th number of questions, that should become, these questionnaires should become a proper orientation about what idea you have. So that you're also trying to understand, okay, these are the challenges, these are the frustrations, these are the free features my customers are trying to look for, and this is how you will be able to validate the answer from your customer. Yes, we are looking for a new product. Yeah. How will you validate? Now customer se question bharana hai. So there is a map called empathy map, where your user is the center point. User means your customer you are interacting with. And you have to guide him and understand him in all the aspects. When you go and discuss about your idea to your prospective customers, see what are they thinking about it. See what they say about it. See what they are doing about it. As soon as you start talking about your idea, there is a possibility some people will, open the Google and start checking about it. So what are they doing about your idea when they are listening to your idea? And then what are they feeling about your idea? So these 4 are behavioral parameters that you also have to understand about your customers in order to create a product or a service for them. And after a certain point of time, when you complete this exercise, your empathy map will look like this. Start making notes. What is your customer thinking? What did he say while I was discussing about the new idea I have in mind? What was he doing while I was discussing this idea? Was he interested, not interested? Was he comparing the product? Was he asking the price? Was he asking friends? And last but not the least, how was he feeling when you were discussing about your idea? Was he excited about it? Did he wanted to know more about your idea? Or he was just sitting dumb and, not happy about your idea? So these all behavioral aspects will also guide you what you should be doing with your product and idea. Now, why empathy map is required? I can simply go meet my customers and come back with the questionnaire. But this story doesn't end here. Understanding your customer means you're creating the smallest possible Bible for you, which will, throughout the life of your venture, will keep you guiding. At that point of time, my customers wanted this. At this point of time, because the trend has changed, my customer wants this. So empathy map is one crucial aspect for any entrepreneur to understand your customer and create the customer persona. How will we understand our customer? Whenever we talk about understanding our customer, we have to pay attention to every details related to them. This is how a customer persona looks like, which tells you about the prospective customers' goals in life. And is there any goal which is matching with the description of your product so that they will like your product, they would like to buy your product? For example, you're coming up with a smartwatch. Yeah. So the goal of your customer should be they are looking for some live recording of your day-to-day physical activities. Smartwatch. This customer persona, while you are interacting with your customers, will also tell you about what challenges, fears, and problems your customer has with your current product they are using. This mind map that we just discussed will also help you understand the buying decision process of your customer. So there is a possibility if you're deriving some product for a kid's age or deriving some services for a kid's age, you will understand the buying decision process is not in the hand of these kids, but the parents. So a customer persona is very crucial to understand the buying decision process as well. Who ultimately will buy the product from a family in a family. And last but not the least, the solution you want to derive that will be roaming around the lifestyle of your customer, the age of your customer, the demography of your customer, which are part of the country your customer lives in, what is the job that he does. If certainly you are developing an app for a farmer, for the farmer fraternity, certainly urban customer is not your customer. In that case, you have to have the customer persona for the rural areas, farmers based out there. So a customer persona you can only develop when you start observing them, when you start empathizing with them, when you start creating mind maps with them, empathy map with them. Why is it all important? Why problem statement canvas was important? Why customer persona is important? Because it is your job to define how to solve customers' problem. You as an entrepreneur at times will make your customers realize this was the problem they were facing, but they were not able to realize this. Through your product and services, which you will come up in the market with, they will realize, okay, this was the thing I was missing in my current product. Let me try my hands in the new product and service. Now comes the problem statement. until and unless you have a problem statement defined, you cannot build a solution around. So I have the easiest possible example of problem definition for you all today. I'm sure you all watch Netflix. So do not think Netflix became Netflix just over a night or over a period of night. You know, they also observed the same process that we are discussing. They also started meeting with the customers. They also had questionnaires to fill with. They also stood outside the picture cinema halls and started observing their customers. And therefore, they came up with this problem statement. Going to the video store requires fighting traffic, wandering the aisles, and waiting in the long lines just to get a single movie. I'm sure you must be aware about it. And there comes Netflix as a solution. How many of us go today and watch a movie in the cinema hall? Very less.
Yes.
How many of us can still go and buy a CD to watch a movie? Approximately none of us. Yeah? So that's the change a problem identification can cater to. And think about the number of years of research Netflix must have done in order to become this successful today. I'm sure you all are aware of design thinking process. We started with empathize. We know how to define a problem now. And now we will start with ideation. I know the problem. I know my customers. I know the alternatives in the market. I know the customer persona. And now I'm ready with the problem definition. So what is next? Ideation. The formation of ideas and concepts. So those who were already sitting with ideas in my class, now think about the idea you all have. After analyzing everything that I told you so far, the customers, the problems, the persona, the empathy map and everything. Now, when we talk about ideas, there are different spaces of ideas. Grounded ideas, to clean up a river, to clean up a society, to clean up the garbage out of a society. Blue sky ideas. Transition from bus to metro, all the metro cities. And then there are some spaced out ideas. Radical innovations, something which never existed before. So you have to identify which space does your idea belong to. Is it something grounded, easily doable? Is it a blue sky idea, which will need a lot of research included in developing the idea? Or it is something radical you're doing, something very different you're doing, and you will be establishing altogether a new market. You have the problem statement identified. You had defined the problem. Now you will start looking out for solutions. Now you have a solution. You have an idea and you want to resolve it. But there is a possibility after meeting with your customers, you have number of solutions to offer. Yeah. So rationing is available in the local kirana store as well, is available on the Amazon as well, is available on the Blinkit as well. So number of options and number of solutions. So developing ideas and finding the right solution includes identifying the problem first. How can you develop ideas around the problem that you have identified? Simply be a critical analyzer. That is, what is your idea? Why do you want to pursue it? Who is your competitor? What are the options they are offering? What are the different alternatives in the market that your customer prefers? Then start asking questions. I could not give my exam today. Problem, right? I could not give my exam today because I was not able to catch the bus to the school. Why wasn't I able to catch the bus to the school? I got up late. Why I got up late? I forgot to put the alarm. Why I forgot to put the alarm? Because I went to a late night party. So the root cause of the problem missing the exam, the root cause is because I went to a late night party, I missed my exam in the morning. So always have 5 whys in place. You want to develop XYZ product. Why? Until and unless in a series you're not able to answer 5 whys altogether, believe me, your product is not ready for the market yet. Then, while you are developing ideas, which will certainly come from the customers as well, identify what are the challenges you have faced. Because your challenges today will be a learning for someone tomorrow. And in this journey of challenges, what are the opportunities that you have identified? I wanted to become a cake baker, but my customer wants an entire package. They want bouquet also, they want packaging also, they want delivery also, they want balloons also. So, what are the opportunities available for you as an entrepreneur? And last but not the least, the worst case. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा? फेल हो जाएंगे, प्रोडक्ट फेल हो जाएगा. So, in order to sustain that, in order to understand that this does not happen, what we will do? We will try to validate all the assumptions I have in mind. मुझे लगता है मेरा केक बेकिंग का बिजनेस चल जाएगा. मुझे लगता है मुझे साथ में फ्लावर्स की और बुकेस की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Assumption as an entrepreneur I'm talking about. ठीक है? I am opening a pizza shop, but I think बिना डिलीवरी दिए भी हो जाएगा. लोग आएंगे और खाएंगे मेरे पास. And the moment any of these assumptions are eligible to kill your product or service in the market, they become riskiest assumptions. So whatever is going there in your mind as an entrepreneur, as an assumption, कि ये तो हो जाएगा, देखेंगे, please never do that mistake. Always validate your assumptions before they become riskiest assumption. Okay? So how will you start gathering ideas? Start clustering them. कितने कस्टमर्स ने कहा कि मुझे केक के साथ बुके भी चाहिए? कितने कस्टमर्स ने कहा कि मुझे केक, बुके और बलून्स भी चाहिए? और कितने कस्टमर्स ने कहा मुझे केक, बुके, बलून और डिलीवरी भी घर पर दे दो? Start clustering idea. Percentage of what is required in the market. Always start with that. Second, in the process of developing the ideas and choosing best of it, start prototyping altogether. Start making testing pieces and start testing it with your customers. Once you identify which prototype you want to go for, which will initially be tough for you, this or that, but once you enter the market with your prototype, your customers will validate option A is better than option B, or option B is better than option A. So while you are developing ideas, choosing ideas, this is how you should create your developed idea. Always have a evaluation criteria and metrics. What is the time, cost, impact, money included, and you can add as many as aspects you think will be related to your product and service. There you can see idea A and idea B. I have specifically mentioned. You can see some ratings as well. Okay. So the similar set of customers that you interviewed for validating the problem, you can also now go and meet the same set of customers in order to understand, sir आपने ये problem बताया था ना, मैंने ये 2 option develop किए, please आप मुझे बताओ which one is better. Your customer will tell you, I think option B is better. Let's go with this. I think I will choose option B. So from that also you will know this or that. So this was it from my side. I thank you for your time and listening to me patiently if you were. Now, any of the questions you have, please let me know.
Ma'am, it was really such an informative session. I can see the chat session full of comments like it is really informative session, easy to understand. So, ma'am, one question I'll ask from my side first.
Sure.
When we talk about problem board solving, once you gave the example like even we do net banking, UPI transactions, still our grandparents want the entry in passbook. Sometimes we also go and do survey, as you said, and we think that our problem is like word solving. But how can we identify, is that really a word solving problem?
Similar, simple, very simple. Go and meet the set of customers you have identified. If your product is a passbook, certainly your set of customer is elder people. Yeah. If your app is UPI, Paytm, certainly elder people are not the first set of customers for you. They might join in later when there's somebody in the family has started using Paytm and UPI, but they're not first set of customers. So whatsoever as a product or concept you're developing, always identify your customers. Who are the ones, those who will adopt my product on the first day of launching it. They can only validate, okay, this is the product you should go ahead with. Yeah. क्योंकि यूपीआई का अगर आप एग्जांपल दे रहे हो, आई टेल यू, आई एम श्योर मोस्ट ऑफ द फैमिलीज में ये हुआ कि वी एज किड्स स्टार्टेड यूजिंग पेटीएम एंड यूपीआई एंड वी वर द वन हु वर ट्रेनिंग आवर पेरेंट्स कि पापा पेटीएम करना शुरू करो, ज्यादा इजी है, जगह जगह वॉलेट लेके घूमते हो, राइट और रॉन्ग? सो हु वाज द कस्टमर फॉर पेटीएम? पीपल फ्रॉम माय एज बट नॉट माय पेरेंट्स. या बिकॉज इन द प्रोडक्ट अडॉप्शन कर्व अगर आप लोग देखोगे, उसमें जाके आपको पता चलता है कि किसी भी कस्टमर का एक सेट होता है कि एक सेट पे जाके, एक स्टेज पे जाके इतने कस्टमर्स होंगे, मेच्योरिटी में जाके इतने कस्टमर्स होंगे. लैगगार्ड्स भी होते हैं, जब पूरी दुनिया ने यूज कर लिया एक प्रोडक्ट तो लास्ट में जाके वो भी अडॉप्ट कर लेते हैं उस प्रोडक्ट को, क्योंकि ऑप्शन ही नहीं बचा. या सो एनीथिंग यू वांट टू वैलिडेट, यू वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड, विल इट वर्क और नॉट, customer is the only touch point to understand that.
So, ma'am, moving towards next question. Most of the people want to know your experience and some common questions. So the question is, can you share some key insight from your experience as an entrepreneurship educator, practically in the field of problem solving and ideation?
Okay, so whatever I set of students I have been mingling up with, most of them come as a surprise in the class, because the first day when we interact with them, they all want to become an entrepreneur. Yeah, first day the class would be full, they all come up with great ideas, but the moment we ask them to go on the field and interact with customers, believe me, 30% drop out. That's the irony. So think of the life of an entrepreneur. No, it doesn't happen over a period of night. It takes a lot of efforts, it takes a lot of research, it takes a lot of guidance, it takes a lot of studies, passion, interactions for you to become an entrepreneur, which will have his or her own product and service tomorrow. So this is what my experience says, that I always get surprised with the ideas, but when we actually ask them to hard work on their ideas, this is the response we get. Yeah.
So, ma'am, I can see one question, which is like, can you provide example of successful problem solving and ideation strategies used by entrepreneurs that have led to an impactful outcomes?
Absolutely. I have number of examples to give. Like the latest example I'll tell you, I was teaching a batch at IIC Hyderabad, and there was a student who said he wants to develop an app which will be delicately devoted towards the elder citizens. And it came out of his own experience. While he was on the airport, he saw an elderly couple on the airport, but they were not well managed. There was nobody to attend them. They were carrying their own luggage. So he came up with an idea that he wanted to start an app which will have only bookings done for the elderly couple, and he will ensure once a elderly couple or any elderly books a ticket for him or her, they are well managed from departure to destination. Yeah. So again, he gave me the same idea. It was his experience that he saw elderly couple who was not well managed by the airport authorities, and he wanted to come up with ideas. And I'm sure he must have, he was a regular student, and he must have interacted with number of elderly couples in order to understand, do they need such kind of an app or not?
Okay, ma'am. So, Again, one question popping up on the screen is: in your opinion, what role does creativity plan in problem solving and ideation, and how can individual cultivate their creative thinking abilities?
Okay. So creativity has multiple definitions. Creativity is not always about designing something very different. Creativity is also about something is already there in the market. You just give some additional features to it. Yeah. फॉर एग्जाम्पल पहले जब जब बच्चे छोटे हुआ करते थे तो उनका झूला क्या होता था, माँ की साड़ी ही जनरली होती थी. या somebody saw that this can be a problem area to be resolved. They came up with swings and slings. ना फिर लकड़ी का झूला आ गया, फिर घर में डिफरेंट स्टील के और लोहे के झूले आ गए. सो इट इज ऑल अबाउट creativity is all about the problem you identify and how do you want to add some benefits to it in such a way that it becomes a radical change in your customer's life. That's what creativity is. Yeah, so it has multiple definitions. How differently you present your platter to your customers so that they are ready to easily pick up something from it is your creativity.
So, ma'am, at last, can you please provide some advice or tips for aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting their journey in problem solving and ideation? They are just at starting level.
One and only suggestion I have to all my dear students, those who want to become an entrepreneur, is always validate whatever idea you have. Always interact with your customers in any smallest thought you have in mind. Never hesitate to go back to your customer and ask them, is it right or not? So be on your toes always. If you want to see something fruitful happening in the market tomorrow, you have to really work hard for it. Yeah, because cutting the crops just takes a month or 45 days, but growing that crops needs 3 to 6 months. So that's the amount of hard work and effort you have to put in your entrepreneurship journey, so that when you come up with a product or service in the market, that's just easily adoptable, gets easily adaptable by your customers. Yeah, so that's the only advice. Keep interacting, be on field, be on toes.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. It was really such a wonderful session with you. Now I would ask my panel members and teammates, do you all have any questions from ma'am? So from your side, you can ask any question from ma'am. Tanish, Shobika, anyone?
Yes, ma'am, I want to ask one question.
Sure.
Ma'am, how will I know if I need to move on from my business? Any startup, if I want to start, but how will I know that I need to move on?
I would say it's a wrong question you asked. You must always ask, how should I identify that my business becomes sustainable? Yeah. Because when an entrepreneur develops an idea, it is almost like delivering a baby, and nobody wants to leave the baby after it is being delivered. Yeah. So always think how to make your business sustainable. And there is only one way for this. You have to be in touch with your customers. You have to be aware about your ecosystem. You have to understand what your customer wants. And until and unless you are providing something that your customer wants, there will be no need to move away from your business.
Thank you.
Yeah. Pleasure.
Okay, ma'am, last question again.
No, sure.
Ma'am, people are still confused about customer persona. So could you please explain it once again, like in short?
Sure.
Importance
Bilkul,
of customer persona.
Absolutely. So say that you want to come up with a product, for example, a smartwatch. Yeah. So for your smartwatch, the first set of customer would be health enthusiasts. Yeah. Or working professionals. Yeah. Or people from younger generations. Now, in order to make my product presentable to them, I need to understand what color do they like, yeah? What challenges are they facing, what frustrations are they facing, what is that one thing that they will adopt my product, the look, the presentation, the weight of it, the cost of it, and so many things. Yeah. And this you can only understand when you go and meet your customer and understand what do they look like, what do they think about a product, what is their general life is all about, what are their goals in life, and so on. So that's as a cumulative is a customer persona, which helps you decide, okay, I'm deriving a smart watch for the people with who are in age of 18 to 45, those who are working professionals or gym goers or are young couples. They must belong to Indore or MP region, because I, as an entrepreneur, that's the easy approachable area for me. I must know that people in my region are very particular about, because the weather is very hot here, so they want something which is compatible on the skin. So this is all what gives you an idea through a customer persona only. Yeah. So this is what is customer persona. Understanding your customer into different aspects so that when you are developing a product for your customer, it becomes easily adaptable. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Pleasure.
Honestly speaking, listening to you, this topic becomes so interesting and easy to understand. So once
Absolutely.
again, ma'am, hearty thank you for joining us and
Pleasure.
making this event successful.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
Now I would like to call Tanish Malvi for vote of thanks.
Looks like Tanish's network is not stable.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, okay. Um,
That's okay. You can simply close it. I'm perfectly fine. If my students are
so,
happy, if they have got what I wanted them to understand as an outcome, that's more than enough for me. Just a thank you words.
ma'am, one snapshot will take. So I request my teammates to turn on their camera and we can take one snapshot of this to create a
Absolutely.
memory of this session. So, ma'am,
Absolutely.
can we please go for the snapshot?
Sure. Done.
Hi Kajal. Hi Garima.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Done, Vaishnavi.
Okay, so okay. So Tanish, please carry on with vote of thanks.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. On behalf of Viva Engineering College and whole IIC Pedia family, I would like to extend a gratitude to you, ma'am. Thank you for your exceptionally enlightening talk, your expertise and insights, having truly added immense value to the webinar. I would also like to extend gratitude to our principal, Dr. B.K. Agrawal, sir, patron of this Impact Lecture Series, Dr. Pankaj Srivastava, sir, and Professor Sunil Abhotri, sir. I want to express my heartfelt appreciation to the audience too, as your active participation has made this webinar dynamic and engaging. Your enthusiasm and interest in the topic have undoubtedly elevated the overall learning experience for everyone involved. Lastly, I would like to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the entire team organizing the impactful webinar. Without your efforts, none of this would have been possible. Once again, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining.
I must thank you all. I must thank Vaishnavi. She has been after my life to arrange this program, and I could really feel the warmth for with the while being with you on this platform. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. And like you all, I'm also a learner. I always believe in learning. So it's always something that I also take out from a session. And I want to thank the institute as a whole. I want to thank the entire coordinating team. Thank you for being here and organizing this online event so well. Hope to see you all in person sometime.
Sure,
Yeah,
ma'am. Definitely, we'll definitely plan an offline session with Vatwani Foundation further.
sure,
So
sure.
once again, thank you so much, ma'am. Let us end this session.
I'm far from perfect.